When working with a spreadsheet, it is sometimes important to understand the formulas that are in the cells. And this video is a couple of ways where you can do that. So the first way is, at the moment, the way a spreadsheet works is when you look at the cell, the answer will be there. When you look in the formula bar, there will be a formula of sorts. If you'd like to see all the formula here, what you can do is, under formulas, you'll see over here there's a button which is called show formulas, or you can use the control and the tilde key. So if I click this button, you'll see that now, instead of seeing the numbers, the answers, what we are seeing is the underlying formula. We can move across and look through the spreadsheet for any obvious errors. And when we want to toggle back, we click the button again and we're back to the original view. Another nice feature is the ability to look at a formula and find out what the reference is referring to from a number perspective. So if we look at D13, we'll see it's referring to 80,000. Instead of searching for the cell, what we could have done is we could have highlighted the reference, and if we push our F9 function key, you'll see it brings through the appropriate number. If I click on B9 without even looking at it, I get 0.21, which is this 21%. Important to remember, if I click enter now, this will stay and the formulas will be lost, so I must push the escape key. Just again, if I click on that cell there, there's a function in here, so I could click on that reference, push F9 and see the individual items, or I could highlight the entire function, and when I push F9 I get the result of that formula. This is effectively a calculator. So if we go back here, I could just as easily, let's say, highlight that, and we get 0.21 divided by 12. If I want to see what the answer of that is without a calculator, I highlight the whole area. When I push F9, it tells me what that answer would have been. Push F9, so now I've got 80,000 times 0.01. If I want to see what the answer would be, I highlight it, push F9, and I get my answer. If I want it to stay like that, I push enter, otherwise I push escape to get back to the original formula. So this is very useful if you want to see if the calculation is correct, and especially if these references are on other sheets, because Excel will go get the information for you and bring it here instead of you jumping between the sheets. Another useful aspect of it is, let's say I'm going to do a copy paste as values here. However, when I do this, this breakdown of the calculation is quite useful in the sense that it gives us a bit of an audit trail. So instead of just doing a copy paste as values and having the answer there, I click my F9 key a few times, and now when I push enter, when I look at the cell, it gives me a bit of a breakdown of how we got to that number.